Nerd Soul.
Lay ill kid at OneYoungsta holding it down, bring that StreetGeek and nerd soul. What is up, my people? We are chilling, having a good time. And guess what? I have a special guest. All right. This man comes highly respected, highly how should I say decorated, highly, how should I say, revered in these streets. I give to you the cinematic sorcerer, Solar Greye.
Hey, how's it going, everybody? This is Solar Greye, the cinematic source. We're coming at you from the Wizard's Tower. And yeah, man, I am glad we can talk about this for a hot minute because man, people make our jobs hard. You know that?
Yes.
You know, people just make our jobs so hard. Just
So
so hard.
you probably saw the thumbnail, the title, whatever. You're here, unless this auto played and you didn't know. Guess what? We talking about the strike. That's right. You know what I'm saying? There's a writer strike. There's an actor strike. Everybody's striking. You know what I'm saying? You know, look, baseball season's still going on. Everybody's striking out here. Right, so, I'm gonna.
Yeah,
As
it's like the entertainment industry is like my dating life.
if as someone who isn't in LA anymore and isn't like drowning in this stuff, um, could you please explain what the strike is about? How it started, what's going on? Not the old strike, not the strike that killed the TV show called Heroes, but the new strike.
No, bruh, that was almost 20 years ago. All right. All right. So let me break this down for you since I'm still here. Because believe it or not, this is seriously a strike that now let me put this out there. All right. For those of y'all that don't know, my complexion is a little let's say a little darker than that of what you would carry groceries home in. Or you know, what you would hide your liquor in. So you know, I pay attention to stuff like strikes and labor disputes and stuff like that. And in case you guys are wondering, I lean a little far left. All right, that's as close as I'm gonna get. I'm not exactly a conservative person. But just to give a little background on what this strike is about. All right. Now I got a disclaimer. I am not in either one of these unions. All right.
And me neither. Me neither.
Yeah, I'm not in the WGA. I'm not in the Writers Guild or the Directors Guild or the Actors Guild or the Stage Actors Guild. All right. I am not gilded. I am independent. So essentially what we're looking at with this strike is real similar. Well, the strike is based on this. All right. Not that long ago, writers had decent contracts. And when I say decent, if you're a writer for a television show or something like that, it was a career. You go to college, you get your degree, you learn how to write for these industries, you learn how to write for these shows, you bust your butt and get a job on one of these shows. All right. Now, be it Star Trek, I Love Lucy. You brought up Heroes. That was a whole different thing. But yeah. So the standard rate back in the day, and we're talking 2020, back in the day, like pre-COVID, definitely 2015, 2016. But I bring up 2020 because all these contracts are negotiated every 3 years. All right. And what people don't know about the entertainment industry is, one, you only see about 2% of it. Just 2. All right. Most of the people that work in entertainment are broke. They're broke.
Yep.
And this is why. All right. Let's say you're a TV writer. Yeah, you're a TV writer. You're on set. You're blah, 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 blah. All right. Well, most people think you write a script, you sell a script to a movie, and you get like $4 or $5 million. That was a long time ago, and that was only 2 to 4% of writers. The way it normally goes with a writer is you bust your butt, and you get a job at these studios, and they put you in a writer's pit, or sorry, writer's pen. It's a pen because they like puns. It's more of a pit. And they essentially throw you a bunch of scripts. All right. So let's say you out there, you want to sell a TV show. Okay. You write the TV show, you write your treatment and your pitch for the TV show. And this is super simplified. Okay. You write your TV show, you take it to an agent. That agent puts it in front of a producer. That producer says, okay, I'll pick it up. Then that producer calls all their friends at every single studio that they know, and they shop around your script. Okay. And then eventually a studio somewhere says, you know what? We'll pick this up. All right. And then the hard work continues, because it's not easy writing a script. Okay. I've written like 7, and they will buy it because they'll see something in it that they want. Something, not the whole thing. They'll see a character, a scene, a concept that they want. And so they'll try and buy it from you outright for maybe $10,000, maybe. All right. And keep in mind, this script that you tried to sell took 6 months to a year to write. All right. And they'll buy it from you for like $10,000, but they're trying to buy it outright along with all of the rights. And then if you sell it, and it's not yours no more. And they take that show and they either put it on a big stack of scripts that they bought a long time ago, or if you're really lucky, it goes into development. Okay. If it goes into development, then they hire a bunch of writers that are not you to rewrite it and rewrite it and rewrite it and cut it up. It's like selling your car to a chop shop. So they might get your catalytic converter, they might get your muffler, they might get something, right? And then they'll make a show that's really, really different, but it's not up to you no more. Now, that's the dream scenario. But those writers that they give the script to buffer butcher or develop, those writers get paid maybe $20 an hour, and they're all temp. Every single one of them is temp. Now that's the way it works with movies. Now the way it works with TV, all right, every TV show you watch that's like Star Trek or Foundation or anything you see that comes on every week, those writers write the show pretty much every week. All right. Let's take South Park, for example. South Park has been running forever. Those writers in South Park, they write the show every week. They get there Monday and they write the show by Wednesday, and then the show is animated by Saturday, and then it comes on Sunday. All right. That's pretty much how it works. Those writers get $1,000 per episode they work on per season. Okay. But there's no guarantee they're going to be rehired at the next season. No guarantee. So they get $1,000 per week, which comes down to a lot of people like, well, $1,000 a week, that's good money, blah, blah, blah. Kinda.
That's before you hit them taxes, bruh.
No. Most people think $1,000 a week is good money, but they don't realize that shows used to have 26 episodes a year. That's it. That's all you got for the show. Every season was about 23 episodes. So that's $23,000 a year if you're on a stable show. Okay. At $23,000 a year, you literally make more at the post office or at UPS. All right. That's for working on one show when the season was 23 episodes long. But because of the stream and the way that they used to keep writers sustained is when that show went into reruns or got picked up by another channel, those writers would get residuals. And so you get $26,000 a year for writing the show and maybe another 15 to 20 in residuals. All right. So you might make $40,000 a year. All right. So let me check this out. Bang. That's like having a full-time job at $20 an hour. That's not bad, but it's not great. All right. Because there's no job stability. Because there's no guarantee that if you're a writer for season 1, you'll get picked up at season 2. No guarantee. You get that call.
There's also no chance that the show will get picked up. Much less you.
Oh no, I'm talking about a show that's already up and on, and like you've made it through season 1.
Oh, okay.
But you're right. There's no guarantee the show will be picked up at season 2. And there's no guarantee that if it gets picked up at season 2, they gonna call you back.
Yep.
There's no guarantee for either one of those. Okay. And, and people are like, well, residual checks are great. Residual checks are never more than 50% of what the initial pay was. There are literally actors out there and writers out there that get residual checks for like 28 cents. Like real talk. Okay.
I mean, I get royalty checks. I know what them checks be looking like sometimes.
Like sometimes you'd be like, cool, that $500, I can make my car payment. What? The show got picked up in Japan? And other times, 26 cents. It costs $1 in gas to get to the bank. But then came the streaming model. Okay. We're talking Netflix, Amazon, Paramount Plus, all the places that you stream your new stuff in.
Because everybody watches streaming, people don't watch traditional TV as much.
Exactly. And the residuals are still for reruns on traditional TV. So when Breaking Bad went from AMC to a different channel, those writers got some residual checks. However, as soon as that thing went streaming, Hulu counts as well. The producers got paid for that, but the writers and the actors did not. No residual checks for your stuff going up on Netflix, because how can you measure how many people watch it? Because your pay used to be determined by ratings. Okay. You with me so far?
Oh yeah, I got you.
Okay, cool. So now with streaming, streaming does two things. Number one, it reduces the size of a season. So I got mad because, new season of Black Mirror just came out, right? Now Black Mirror started as 10 episodes, then it went down to 6 episodes. This last season was 3 episodes. And we're all seeing this with stuff like Stranger Things and doing split season. And the biggest thing that made me concerned, and this was way before the strike, was the show Narcos on Netflix.
All right.
Where Narcos had 3 seasons. And then it got canceled. Hang on, I gotta sneeze.
I didn't even know Narcos got canceled.
Yeah, it did. But see, it didn't. Because a new show with the same cast was brought out called Narcos Mexico, or Narcos it was, first show was Narcos, the second one was Narcos Colombia, or Narcos Mexico, or something like that. Okay, so think about it like the Law and Order shows. There's Law and Order, and then Law and Order SVU, and Law and Order Vegas, and Law and Order with a side of cream. Except those shows are all different shows with different casts and different writing crews. But imagine if a show that you watched for 6, 7 seasons, let's say Star Trek The Next Generation only had 2 seasons, and then it was Star Trek The Next Generation, The Enterprise Chronicles, but it was the same show. They just changed the name. But when they changed out the names, they changed out the writers, and the season was smaller.
That's the hustle, boy.
Exactly. So these writers who only make $20,000 a year, okay, keep in mind, your car costs more than that. And $20,000 a year comes down to $10 an hour. That's literally what that comes down to. Because I did the math. $5 an hour is $10,000 a year. All right. So these writers in Hollywood are making less than a teacher, less than a junior high school teacher. per show that they work on. So now their pay just got cut in half, or not, a third, because they went from 23 episodes a season to 6 or 10, but their pay did not change. So
Not at
now,
all.
right, so now they got to go, actually their pay did change because streaming shows don't go into syndication. So where do you get residuals from? Once it's streaming, that's it. It's up there.
And they called this way back in the last strike. They talked about streaming and stuff. And like the industry was like, nah, bro, nah, man, you good. Don't worry about all that. Don't stream
Nah,
it.
girl, I
Don't
got you.
like that. Don't even worry. The streaming ain't
Nah,
even
girl,
big.
you know I love you. Now just get back on that corner.
Streaming ain't even big. Don't even worry about all that. You worry about streaming, bro. We ain't even think about streaming. Streaming, man. Streaming is fake. Don't worry. Streaming is fake. Don't worry about that. You don't even got to worry about that. There's not even a lot of money.
Yeah, exactly. And
Even though someone who was working at Comcast, aka a young NERDSoul, when I first saw video on demand come out, I was like, this is the future. I was like, I can watch The Wire whenever I feel like it. I was like, bruh, it's over.
Yeah.
I was like, what
It's
do I
like
need this
buying
for?
the DVD.
Yeah, it's like it's over. And that was back in like, I was working there at like 07, 08.
Yeah.
Right
Right after the writer's strike that you talked about with Heroes.
I worked there between 04 and 08, I believe.
Okay, so you were at Comcast during the last major writer's strike.
Yeah. So
Okay.
I remember when video on demand came out, but remember there was like the industry was like, man, don't even worry about streaming, bro. Y'all good.
Mm-hmm.
Don't worry about that.
All right.
Ain't no money in that.
So yeah, now find 4 people that are under the age of 70 that actually watch plain old TV now. I'm talking channel 4, channel 5. The only time I ever see people under 40 watching regular old TV are the people that watch PBS. That's it.
Yeah,
You know.
either that or live sports. That's probably about it.
Yeah, that's about it. So, and sports don't need writers. So yeah, now these poor writers out there, have the majority of work that they have access to are for these streaming channels that are 6-7 episodes a year. Now, since they were only making 20 grand, 20,000, that's before taxes. Okay, that's before taxes and gas and food and all the things that you need to think clearly and write well.
Healthcare and all that mess.
Yeah, exactly. All right. So now all of their pay all at once because of streaming essentially got cut down to like $6,000 a year. Okay. You literally make more at McDonald's if you can get a job at McDonald's because automation. So they went on strike saying, yo,
Even though I got my thoughts on automation and AI and whose jobs are really in trouble.
well, that comes next.
I got
Okay,
I got my thoughts on that.
Now, see, that comes next because this is the other thing that the studios were doing. The studios essentially, in order to cut costs, have been hiring fewer and fewer writers. Okay, and they've been kicking around this idea. And the first part of the negotiations with the writers were like, "No, do not replace us with AI. We don't want to see your crap. We don't want to see your Chat GPT scripts because if like I said, these are the writers. Okay, these are the writers that you might actually know the names of, like the Aaron Sorkins, the Kathleen Kennedys, the people like that, right? I know Kathleen Kennedy is a producer, but yeah, the Benioff, and the David S. Goyers, those are the big names of the writers are saying we don't want to see your AI crap, all right? Because you type a premise into an AI program and it spits out a script, and that script is hot garbage. It really is. The script sounds just like a recorded scam call, But what producers are talking about doing, they're like, oh, we're losing our writers, well, we'll just put something in Chat GPT and we'll hire one of these, up and coming writers just out of college to fix the script that we get from Chat GPT. And that's where these
well, I mean, I guess you can fix it, but when you say fix, basically you just mean rewrite this thing.
Yeah. And people that get rewriters, you know how I said the writers make about $1,000 an episode? Yeah, those rewriters make minimum wage. Real talk. Okay, minimum wage. So it's essentially kicking out your contractor and literally going to the high school and picking up kids out of shop class to fix your house and giving them $50 flat. That's what the producers are trying to do with the writers. Now, the AI thing is what got SAG involved. And I got my feelings about SAG because how can I put it? I'm pro unions, but I don't like the way that they behave to people who are trying to get in. All right, so that's another show. But SAG is going, hold up. So now that we got deep fakes and de-aging and all that stuff, SAG is going, all right, so you guys are talking about taking the people who aren't big names, scanning them into a computer, paying them like $150 one time, and then using their image forever.
Yo, Black Mirror just talked about this, man. Black Mirror is not a game. They're telling you what they got to do.
Matter of fact, I think that's why that episode of Black Mirror was written. And filmed. I also think that's why the season was so short. To do. Yeah. And, now a lot of people here in the industry out here, because it's a company town, in order to get in a SAG, you need screen time. You need to be seen on camera, and then you need to pay dues and whatever. Okay. And the best way to get on screen and pay dues has been to do extra work, because people don't really conceptualize when they watch TV that everybody you see on screen is an actor. Every single person that you see on screen.
That's why they're there.
Not just the ones in the foreground that are talking, but all the people in the background, every member of a crowd that jumps out the way during a car chase, every single person crossing the street. If it's a big production, like last time you saw Mission Impossible, they didn't just set up their cameras in LA and do a car chase with the buses going in the back. That ain't how it works. Now you know what I'm talking about.
Like live traffic. That's crazy. Now you know what? That's the next place Fast and Furious can go. They be like, look, we shot this live, baby.
Yeah, see that's that movie Bowfinger with Eddie Murphy and Steve Martin. So essentially, those actors get paid $50 a day. Okay, so you got your Brad Pitts, your Angelina Jolie's, your Benedict Cumberbatch, your Chiwetel Ejiofor's, your Michael B. Jordan's. All right. I just want you to understand that when you saw Creed, every person in that audience during the fight scenes was a paid extra. All right, $50 per person. And what Hollywood is saying is to get your $50, okay, you already got to show up on set when they say, sometimes as early as 2:00 in the morning.
Yeah, sometimes call times is like 2 a.m., 4 a.m., something like that.
And you stand around waiting for stuff to go. You can't really talk to people, and you definitely can't talk to the actor saying, hey, what's going on, Terry Crews? Put me on. Come on, put me on. You don't even get access to them. You just got to be lucky enough to have the look at the time that someone's watching. You get what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And people literally go to school for this. Like, I went to film school.
Film school. No.
Yeah, to be like one of the people holding the cameras and stuff like that. And I had to go through the freaking extras gauntlet. the cattle calls is what they're called. All right. So what the producers and the executives are talking is take these people that are going through the cattle call, pay them their $50, scan them, and then put them everywhere that you can have that asset. They're turning people into animation. So those extras get their $50 once, and then no production for that company needs them again. So you get a call to be an extra in a movie. It turns out it's a movie from Warner Brothers. Warner Brothers scans you. They got your image. They got your body type. You're now an animated asset. And now you will never work for Warner Brothers again. Ever. Because they already got you for anything they want.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So that takes anything that you can do as an extra and gives you 6 jobs. One for Warner, one for Paramount, one for Disney, one for Sony. You get where I'm going, right?
And I mean, the issue is, it wouldn't be bad if you were paid out for your likeness, your name and likeness. It wouldn't be an issue. But they trying to run the game like, all right, check it, look, let me scan you in, right? I'm gonna pay you one time.
Yeah.
Where one time, oh, it must be a lot of money, right? Nah, it's gonna be $100. $100 each time? No, it's just $100 for that one. So when I'm on the other show, I'm gonna get another $100. Nah.
Oh no.
You ain't getting
no. No, I'm
what
not.
you gonna get is a thank you. We might not even put your name in the credits. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So it's like, it's generally like, yo, this is the new scam. This is the new scam. This is the new, like, big boy greed model. And it got here because y'all didn't finish the job 20 years ago. But that's a whole nother thing. But continue. Continue.
So the big SAG actors are going, hold up, wait a minute. Hang on. If you doing this as extras, y'all have already scanned us for de-aging, for CGI, for all that other stuff. And the companies are going, I don't know what you guys are talking. Nah, we'd never do that to you. Yeah, we wouldn't do that to you. Oh, yeah? Yeah. How much did you pay Peter Cushing's family for freaking the last Star Wars thing? Oh, we took care of them. What did you pay them? You should go. Don't you have somewhere to film?
But this is when I come in and say, y'all never cared about Peter Cushing's family until now. Now all of a sudden he's an example. You didn't care then, you don't really care now. This is about you. And I'm cool with it being about you, but don't try to make it seem like it's about someone else.
Well,
because it's not.
This is a very much American thing. America is built under the principle of, we're doing good because I'm doing well. Things are all right for me, so they must be okay for everybody. Yep. And when the people it ain't okay for goes, no, things are good for you. I'm only trying to get half of what you are. Then they're like, no, well, you just got to work harder. And now it's like, yeah, so about that working harder thing. But yeah, so SAG has thrown their head into this thing because the producers, at least according to Adam Conover from Adam Ruins Everything, his Instagram has been like, yo, we are on the forefront of this. And the producers are essentially saying, or the executives are saying, no, we just gonna let this strike ride out until the writers start getting evicted and losing their houses and stuff, because we ain't gonna budge. They gonna take what we give them. And SAG popped in saying, so y'all gonna use AI to get these crap scripts and then use a bunch of college kids to fix everything up for us to act in, and you're talking about using CGI to scan our images, and deep fake technology to scan our images and scan our voices. And then what? Just not call us no more? Nah, we ain't doing this. So you know what? We ain't coming. And part of the strike is big. This is kind of why I'm sad I'm not at San Diego Comic-Con, but I'm still giving it one more year before I go back to the convention scene. Because when they went on strike, the strike means no acting, and no promotion. Like, they were literally at the premiere of Oppenheimer or something. They were at the premiere of something big. And as soon as the word to strike got up, all the actors got up and left the premiere. So no press junkets about what you're in. No promotional material. Nothing. So there is no Hall H at Comic-Con this year. Like,
I mean, the Hall H is still there.
Yeah, but what's in it ain't.
Hall H is still there.
What they had planned for it ain't.
They probably play a movie or something. You know, they probably, they're doing something. They putting people in there. I'm sure there's something going on. Maybe like video game tournament or something. I don't know. Selling toys.
According to my friends that are there right now, Hall H is closed.
Oh, just completely closed?
Well, yeah, because they had it sealed off and they had presentation set and all that other stuff. And yeah, nope, none of that. Closed, done. Because Hollywood didn't show up to Comic-Con this year because of the strike.
Yeah, but I wouldn't have wasted that. I wouldn't have wasted that real estate. I would have did something with it, but that's all other thing. I would have put down hardwood floors that had a skate party or something. I would have did something.
Nah, the big thing for San Diego is, like, you gotta understand, for that con, it takes the con is always at the at the end of July. They start setting up and building stuff in around April, May. So everything they had set up for Hall H and all the talks they have, those are well planned out in advance. So if they find themselves with a spare room, they don't got anything to do with it and no one to put there. What else are they going to put on the docket? Like, okay, Hall H closed, or they lost everything that was going into Hall H a week before Comic-Con started. So there was no time to put up a skate park. No time to say, well, the biggest part of the con is gone.
Well, there was some people. There were some companies that announced they weren't going to do San Diego last year.
Mm-hmm.
They weren't. Don't cry for Comic-Con International.
Oh no!
Don't act. And also, they have the power. They have the access. They have the money to make something happen on short notice. Don't make it. Look, don't think that Comic-Con is sitting at home like you and your
to make a dream. No. They still making their money, and the people that would go to Hall H, the customers that would go to Hall H, are now going to other panels. The flow of traffic has broadened, but yeah, most of the movie companies put a good amount of their advertising budget into San Diego and New York Comic-Con. That budget was spent.
Spent up.
And now, so whatever premiere of the new Marvel shows that were coming out, or that big thing for Phase 5, that's got to wait to D20. And if the strike is still going on, there ain't no D20 or D26 or whatever.
D23.
Yeah, there is no D23.
But I want to back you up real quick and talk about the promotion for a minute, because I know we coming up on time. I know people they want to know about the strike and all that and what's going on, how you and I feel and everything. You know what I'm saying? They've been calling in. No, but there's been this thing about no promotion, because I've been seeing it on Twitter. I haven't really been following the strike a lot, but I've seen a whole bunch of scab talk all over the Twitters, all over the TikToks. You know what I'm saying? And a whole bunch of people. This person's a scab. That person's a scab. That person's a scab. A whole bunch of scabbing all over the place. And you know what I'm saying? I don't care enough to try to make sense with it with these conversations. But since we here, I'm like, hey, you know what I'm saying? What is the real deal about the promotion, about talking about shows and stuff? Because I have my thoughts, but I'd like to see where you're at with the whole the announcement, all that.
All right, so I'm with the whole no promotion, because here's the thing: the whole thing about a strike in general is you shut down the business. All right, so when, let's say, Walmart goes on strike. Oh God, I wish. And you got the picketers.
They striking themselves. They shutting down all them stores.
The whole point is to stop business. It's supposed to hit the bosses where it hurts. So what it comes down to is you got the people on the picket line. They're there to shut the place down. And when it comes to entertainment, which isn't exactly something that you purchase anymore, you purchase access to it. And essentially, what the strike is doing, the actors and the writer strike is saying, next season, you won't have a next season because what's already out was written and filmed up to 2 years ago. You know, so that's a real big thing.
We're seeing a lot of COVID time stuff right now.
Yeah, exactly. Like I've been been popping up on my Facebook. You know, Cobra Kai is looking for background actors. You know, hey, want to be an extra in the next season of Cobra Kai? Well, now, yeah, the next season of Cobra Kai, that's on hold because nobody's working on it. And the whole thing about advertisement is, you know, hey, online people, we know you're not part of our unions right now. We know that you're doing your thing with the streaming, but can you make your streaming not telling people to go see our stuff? So like we
Can
do
I
our
add
shows.
in a little flavor to it?
Yeah.
Can I add in a little flavor?
Yeah.
Hey, online people, we know you're not in our unions. We know you're not in our industry. We also know that we look down on you until it's time for you to come and do stuff for us. But even though we look down on you as if you're beneath us, could you help us out?
Yeah. Yeah. And that is
y'all won't respect it that way. Oh, because I've been around. I've been around them writers.
I've
been in them San Diego parties. I know how they treat y'all or us. Yeah. I know how they do. Now,
yeah,
so
that whole if you're a real writer, if you were really in the industry, then I would know you. You would be in our rooms. You wouldn't be in your house talking about whatever show I'm writing. Yeah, I get that. I definitely get that. And see, honestly, I think we as online people kind of need to unionize so we can talk to them, saying, you know, you looking at us, but you realize, huh?
I said I'm down with that.
Yeah, because it's like, you know, like them, love them, hate them, whatever. But like the Nostalgia Critic, Channel Awesome, this whole the retro video review culture that came out on the internet because of people like the ones that messed up in the past. That got a lot of people residual checks with DVD sales. You know, I mean that's real talk. And, you know, this whole entertainment industry is very reflective of American culture, where it's I've made it above where you are so I can tell you what to do. And when you finally get some power, I'll treat you cool. That's supposed to be an unspoken understanding.
And I'll use my fans to shame you all over Twitter and TikTok, even though those same fans don't really care about what's going on with me. They just want to look cool because they want to be involved.
Exactly. So essentially, now I'm with the, you know, now I love doing analysis. I love talking about stuff. You know, I love talking about stuff with you. Like I'm trying to figure out some time in my week where I can talk with you about the whole Nick Fury thing.
Mm-hmm.
You know, as a really big black dude that wears trench coats. I just don't have an eye patch anymore. But at the same time, they're asking us like, you know, make your money, analyze it and all that stuff. Just please don't tell anybody to go see stuff. You know, because if people are still going to movies while they're striking, then they lose some of their leverage. If people are still signing up for new streaming services, you know, they're losing their leverage. And the thing is, the entertainment industry has been my life since I was a child. You know, I grew up in the 80s. We were raised on TV. I went to school to get into TV and movies. But right now, the only unions out there that are treating people the way that they're supposed to be treated are the labor unions. And I'm talking about the hard labor unions, like the carpenters, the Teamsters, the plumbers,
Hmm.
the real essential workers, so, I'm pro union as a whole, and I definitely back the writers and the actors. But I ain't saying they innocent. I'm saying they need to be a lot more open to new membership and less snotty. And I realized that of the two, like between the producers and executives and the writers, and the Writers Guild and the Actors Guilds are the lesser of the two evils in this fight. And I really think that those two guilds should do a little more to make it possible to get in. And shouldn't treat people who haven't lived up to their criteria to get in like such crap. They should open more doors. Again, like the Carpenters Union, like the teachers union, like the unions that do stuff that the world literally that our society would literally crumble without. The teachers, the plumbers, the butchers, the bakers, the
because there were what I would consider real strikes, and I know people are gonna get mad at this, but when the teachers were striking, I ain't see that support, yo. I ain't see that support.
Right.
I ain't see that support, and I'm wondering why the whole world got to get up and support you, but when there was a real issue going on, and to go further, even in your own camp, you knew there were actors that weren't getting paid a dime. Why y'all ain't saying nothing back then, man? Why you ain't saying nothing back then?
Again,
because it's coming down your block now. All of a sudden, say something.
Exactly.
So if I was, I'm gonna be honest. If I was one of those actors getting paid $2 a check, I'd be looking at y'all funny style. I'd be looking at Matt Damon. I'd be looking at Brad Pitt, Denzel, all of them. Be like, oh, so now it's strike time. But y'all knew we was broke.
Well,
but
in
y'all
all
knew
fairness,
that. I'd be looking at Will Smith like, hold up, bro. Like you done had a whole zip code for years. Like I've been sitting in a 1-bedroom apartment struggling with bologna and cheese. Now all of a sudden it's strike time. You knew we needed help. Y'all knew y'all had the leverage. I'm just saying there's angles to this.
I'm with you.
I know people gonna be mad, but look, because I know people want me to jump on and be like, I support everything they do, and I support them. I'm like, yeah, I do support them. You know what I'm saying? Because the industry is foul. But let's not act like y'all altruistic.
Yeah.
Altruistic up in this joint.
Right now, and it's funny. One of our viewers told me I should just open a channel called Down by the Docks. I normally don't talk about this type of stuff, except for Tuesday nights down by the docks. Cover your face because COVID. Yeah, that's why. But like, it's funny because there are two layers to what you just said. One, use Matt Damon or use a different example from Matt Damon, because believe it or not, Damon and Affleck have been trying to open doors for everybody just using
insert any rich actor.
I'm with you.
I'm just using that. I don't like. I'm not going to go into the minutia of each and every actor's
point that I'm getting to
issues.
Now, the point that I'm getting to is there are a lot of actors and producers that are trying to open doors, but I'm saying don't look at them. Look at the people who sign their checks. Because like with every industry, the people that make the most money are the ones that cause the biggest problems. It's
the reason I'm looking at them is because they're the ones standing up now telling everybody that they're striking and that we need to be down with the strike. And I'm like, all right, cool, let's be down with the strike. But you knew your people was hurting mad long ago. So why is it all important now? Don't act like it's important now.
No. On one hand, bro, it's politics, and the biggest part of politics is timing. Because I mean, let's be real. All right, let's be real on both angles on this. I've been that dude at a job going, our boss is treating us like crap. What's up with this? And all that happens is I need to go look for a new job or change careers. So when everybody gets involved, then there's some leverage. But this is also part of American culture, and we as black men have been up against this fight forever.
I guess
Because
maybe that's why I look at it like that. Because I'll be like, yo, man, look, we've been fighting just like be able to walk into a store,
yeah,
like
and
just to be able to sit down on a train or something.
yeah, exactly. And it's like, oh, so now that it's happening to y'all want like national outcry. We've been crying out to you.
Yeah, it's like because I saw
Throughout history.
Somebody was talking about the strike, and they were one of some actor that was on there. I can't remember the clip. I wish I could find it, but it was it flew by me on Twitter, and the actor said the term systemic and downtrodden. And the person that quote tweeted it was like, these are the same type of people that would fight against reparations. And I was like, you know what?
Yep. That's the whole thing.
I was like, you know what? Yeah, that's true. You want to use systemic and downtrodden. Also, you know what? There is a video to be made about all of these new shows wanting to use the Black experience as an allegory for some other community, but that's a whole other thing. Yeah, that's a whole nother, like,
that's the Tuesday night down by the
trying
box.
To steal our songs. So, like, stop it.
Yeah,
everybody want to be Black, but don't nobody want to be Black. But
yeah, exactly.
That's a whole other thing.
So yeah, when it comes down to it, I'm back on the strike because of what Snoop said about it. Because I saw very much something really similar. And being a black man, the one thing I know, being black man from the hood during the time that makes people afraid to come visit me, entertainment has always been one of the known factors for poor Black people and other people of color, but mainly Black people, to get out of poverty.
Yeah.
And Snoop brought this up because his path out of poverty is not that anymore because of streaming. He straight up said, my song gets 1 billion downloads on Spotify. Why don't I have $1 billion? Because music has already screwed the artist with this new stuff. You get a song up on Spotify or Apple TV, and you don't make 1/10 of the money you get used to selling TVs. Yeah, a fraction of a penny. Well, where does the rest of that money go? Snoop's question, and this is the one I'm always talking about, which is why I said blame the people signing their checks. Where does the money go? Because whoever is getting the lion's share of that money,
go to David Zaz.
Yeah, exactly. So that's the real big thing on that one. Because it's not like these companies are giving these shows to Netflix for free. And it's not like Netflix ain't making money off of the shows that they put up to stream. It's not like Bezos ain't making money off of Prime Video. And we do a show on Star Trek every week. You think Paramount ain't seeing that money?
Oh, Paramount gonna make that cheese.
Yeah, exactly. So who at Paramount gets those checks? Because that's the whole thing. They need to take a little less to make sure that the people that build whatever it is they're putting out can afford to keep doing it. Instead of going, well, you can't do it, I'll just find somebody else that comes from a richer family that'll do it, So yeah, artists out there, artists are one of the biggest important pieces of the world that we live in. Musical artists, writers, cinematographers, actors. And we want to act like, everybody knows those aren't steady careers. If you don't believe me, tell your family that you want to be a writer. Tell your family that you want to be an actor.
They'll be like, so
no, you going to medical school.
They'll be like, so how do you make money doing that?
Mm-hmm.
But I will give Snoop his props. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Because the music industry, man, that joint came through. It was over, man.
And the TV and movie industry is trying to do the same thing.
The only
And
thing, the good thing is, I will say the good thing about Hollywood is at least they have a union, because the
exactly.
music industry didn't have a union, but that's also because the music industry is so different,
Yeah.
like in the way they, the way they operate. So yeah, it was easy to make sure that they couldn't be, I guess you could say, unionized or organized at all.
Exactly. So that's what's going down. These strikes, they're the most powerful union in Hollywood, being SAG, because real talk, if actors don't show up, what do you got? And the answer is reality TV.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you don't even have game shows because somebody's got to write those questions.
That reality TV, that lightly scripted reality TV.
Oh, the reality shows ain't even scripted, really. You got the producer that comes up with the scenario. They put the real people in who are all excited to be on the TV, and then the producer's messing with them.
Yeah, because basically
Just poking at them.
when Mary Ellis said that it was lightly scripted, I was like, yeah, I know what they mean by lightly scripted. What we did is we went on and set up this situation. We know these two people hate each other, so let's force them to be together, and then make sure that there's alcohol there, and then
Exactly. Exactly. That's exactly it. That is exactly it.
I mean, that's the script of every reality show. They take two people that, like, it's 10 people. 8 of them are completely cool. But that's not who they send on that trip. No.
Nope.
No. They send the two people that hate each other on that trip. And then maybe two people that are sort of apathetic. They're the Switzerlands of the crew. So they won't stop either side. They're going to like sit around and be like, well, I guess we should just all love each other. And then make sure they get drunk so they can get angry. And then they just record it.
And then one of them looks at the other and says, hey, man, hit my hand. And they slap the hand, and they go punch somebody else. And they're like, that's from her. And then you're all right. And then you have to say you're all right. And then it's not all right. And, like, seriously. So, yeah, I mean, seriously, that's the whole thing. So, so without writers and actors, actually, without writers, all you have is reality TV. Okay. But most of the popular reality TV is just filled with actors. Like you can Google the people from Duck Dynasty, what they looked like before. So the real talk is, if these actors don't show up for work, then there's no one to film. Which, honestly, if the actors, the writers, the camera people, and the sound people go on strike, there is no more entertainment industry. Like, none. There's nothing. Just these two unions have actually come down to it, have come down to putting the entertainment industry on hold. And they don't want people online saying, go watch this, go watch that, because that takes away their leverage. Okay, that turns us into people that still shop at Walmart while the picket line is going. So, but analysis and review like we do, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. That's all out there. But I wanted to put that out there. I wanted to talk to you about this stuff on the show because a lot of people don't know what the strike is really about or what they're mad at. And the whole thing is, I'm supporting the strike not just for the Hollywood people, but I live in the hood. You've been to my home, and there ain't a whole lot of work around here. Okay, I forgot the economist that said the only reason you have a job is because it hasn't been automated yet. Technology has not figured out a way to automate it yet. And around here in the hood, there ain't that many jobs to go around. One of the most popular one of the jobs that everybody sees is around are those sign spinners. Those poor dudes dressed like the Statue of Liberty spinning signs, or wearing caps like spinning signs saying taxes get done over here, whatever they're saying, right? I actually have footage because I'm doing I'm kind of writing a video essay on this, which ain't like me because I don't like editing. But this one's important because there are machines that wave the sign. So it's like, you go to McDonald's and you can make orders on the little beep boop things. You go to the grocery store and you got that automated checkout. And it's like, most of the jobs that people have been condescendingly told to go to if they can't find work, those are being eaten up by automation because it's cheaper to spend $300 on a machine that will wave the sign all day and all night for $30-$40 of electricity than it is to pay somebody to be out there all day. And America needs to stop thinking from the perspective of their boss. And they need to look at their pocketbook and ask, in 5 years, 10 years, will I still have a job, or will this be replaced with AI and deep fakes and stuff like that?
And you know what? To cap this off, I'll say this: he's absolutely right, especially when it comes to jobs. Everyone that's sitting in an office right now, looking down on people that are losing their jobs at the register, remember, your computer is another version of a register. AI can take that job much faster than a trash man.
Bro,
it's much easier. It's much easier for AI to manipulate the information that's already in that computer than it is for AI to figure out how to perfectly line up against the trash can, even if it's maybe like 1 foot off the curb to make that decision. It's a lot easier to do that job on the computer than to do that.
I will tell you, bro.
There's a whole lot of data entry jobs that are in a lot of danger.
Bro, the ones who are on the forefront of fighting this technology for work's sake are the Teamsters. They're the one that's fighting the automatic driving cars. Because as soon as you can put a car on autopilot, truckers are out of work. And that is the biggest employer outside of the military in this country.
I think that's still extremely far off due to how we're just not there yet, even with cars. And I don't think the
cars.
I know the government and big corporate, I know they best friends and they sleep together. But I don't even think the government would say, all right, this technology isn't even solid on a 2,000-pound car yet. I'm definitely not going to put it on an 80,000-pound vehicle. And I know y'all are probably
$3 million worth of material.
And I'm pretty sure y'all are thinking about Indiana, where it's nice and flat. Y'all ain't thinking about West Virginia, where the mountains is. Colorado, where where you got 7, 8, 10% grades. Like,
bro,
look,
I can tell you this:
there needs to be a human on that joint still.
Now, between the docks and the rest of the world is traffic.
Yeah,
all the traffic everywhere. And the only thing that beats a semi in a game of chicken is a train. So, and you can't lay track everywhere. You in Virginia. No, I've been up to Oregon. I've taken a train from LA to just from LA to San Francisco, and part of that train trip is on a bus because of those hills. So
yeah, those look, going through those mountains, I think some jobs will be protected from AI simply because of their specificity. And I think a lot of people look down on, they'll be like, oh, well, you're just a plumber. It's like, yeah, but due to me being, quote, just a plumber, my job's probably super protected.
Well,
because,
you see, that's where strikes come in. It's like, oh, I'm just a plumber? All right, hold up. Let's see if okay, they live within 20 miles of where they went down on me. So let me just call up every plumber in 20 miles and say, when you get a call from this address, say no. And see what just a plumber means.
Yeah.
And the pandemic brought that out. The pandemic seriously brought that out. Oh, well, I work at a hoity-toity office, or I work in Hollywood, and you just drive DoorDash. And then pandemic. So it's like, what was that about grocery delivery people?
Look,
What was that about stock boys?
all those Harvard grads used to look down at those tech school kids, and now those tech school kids still working. Those
Mhm.
Harvard grads are struggling.
And again, this is where America needs to change its freaking mind. And unions did a big part of that, because it was always, no, you're going to go to college, because I'll be damned if I see you have to become a construction worker. And it's like, whoa, you mean a carpenter, a plumber, an electrician? And I will tell you the truth. As hard as that work is, the pandemic was our chance to have a real good reset, because and we need to change the way that we look at the jobs that keep us going. You and I, we work on the internet. Bro, I will tell you, every time there's a cable dude in my neighborhood that's running wires, I give him a soda. And that's just because I don't keep beer in the house. I'd be like, yo, bro, thank you. I don't have work without you. Boom.
I'll try to give everyone some information real quick before we sign off. My uncle said you better learn how to fix something. Look, you better learn how to fix something. Once you know that, you're gonna be all right.
Okay. And my mama said never treat poorly the people who do your hair and cook your food.
True that.
And
because you don't want that.
And now we in the 21st century. And now we in the 21st century. So it's do your hair, cook your food, keep the lights on, not just people paying, but the ones who run the wires. Because if I have a rolling brownout down here, I am panicked. I'm like, I was supposed to go on. I'm supposed to be live streaming.
Man, it's
like, sorry, y'all can't live stream today. There's no electricity on my block. But see, all those trades have unions.
Yep.
And so I'm saying, no, seriously, unionize, fight the fight, not against the people that look down on you and all that stuff. I mean, screw them, but pay, flex your power against the people that sign the checks. Because if it was up to them, there would be robots doing every single job. And as long as jobs are the only way that it's cool to get money, and you need money for shelter, food, medicine, then this is going to be a fight, So yeah, again, I'm with the writers and I'm with the actors, because I don't care about Brad Pitt, Angelina Jolie. I care a lot about the Adam Goldbergs, but even more than that, those extras, they make maybe $100 a day. That's it. $100 a day. That's $500 a week if they work every day. And that don't even come down to $20,000 a year. And same. And I'm sorry to tell people that the places that have this kind of work, like writing and acting, cost way more than $20,000 a year just to not be homeless. I mean, right now in Los Angeles, it costs it literally costs $25,000 a year to pay for a studio apartment. That's just the apartment. I ain't talking about the food or the electricity.
It's insane. Also, this is going to be an apartment where you don't have a doorman, you don't have parking. You
might not get a bathroom that belongs to you. You might get one that you got to share with the rest of the freaking floor.
Yeah, you got to beg everybody to fix your stuff. You got it's not the way to go.
Exactly. And there's only so many Home Depots. There's only so many Lowe's. There's only so many fast food places. But most of those places are going toward automation too. So this is a big wake-up call. I don't care how you feel about actors or the entertainment industry, or if you think that most of them are royalty. I'll tell you, most of the people that you see on a red carpet are renting or borrowing those clothes, which is why you see so many men in tuxedos.
And you guys probably saw in the what is it, in the pandemic, when you saw a lot of y'all favorite rappers out there, you know what I'm saying? When you started seeing them from their homes, you was like, whoa, I thought this person was balling. No, they wasn't.
They bought.
All that stuff was provided by the label. And now
Uh-huh.
that they're at their real house, you see they living regular just like you.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, don't love the art, but don't believe the hype.
Yeah.
You can even love the art of the hype because advertising in itself is an art form. But real talk, that's so yeah, the strike is real. The strike is real, and it's actually for a good reason. These people ain't asking for millions and millions of dollars. Even the writers that were getting, the ones that sold a script. Hey, I sold a script for $75,000. That was probably, and that's the other thing about writers. If you're trying to write for movies, you don't take a script. You don't even get a meeting with one script. You need to show up with like 6. You got to show up with 6 fully finished scripts just to get a meeting with somebody. And of those 6, you might sell one that meeting.
Maybe.
And your next meeting, you got to come up with 6 or 7 different ones. All right. So we are talking literally write a movie, but you got to write 5 or 6 movies, and you got to do this every year. And that's if you're on a roll, and then if you're really, 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 really good and really, 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 really lucky, like David S. Goyers, who has been a writer in the industry for 40 years. Okay. The bro has been writing since the 80s. Okay. And he started off in Trauma, which, Trauma flicks. Yeah. Just look them up. They ain't exactly known for quality, but, same place as James Gunn. They have been in the industry for a lifetime, and now their ship is coming in, which means what were they doing for all those years?
Struggling.
Exactly. So that's pretty much how it goes on that one. And the writers are pretty much saying, they're not even striking for better than struggling. They're striking to keep the struggle from getting worse.
And my thing is, I'll say this, and then I'll get, tell them where they can find you and all that. But look, man, don't strike just to get by. Go on and strike and get what y'all want. Then y'all ain't gotta don't be like the teachers, don't be like the NBA. Go in and strike for what you want. All right? Going to get what you want. And don't be like, oh, let me just put a band-aid on until maybe 5 years later. No, just go and strike for what you want, man. Go and get what you want. You out there, go and strike for it.
Seriously. So yeah. So I'm glad we were able to have this talk, man. Like writer to writer, content creator to content creator. Because yeah, we this is something that's really had to be out there, but too many places have been like, yeah, I stand in solidarity with the strike because I'm pro-union. It's like, no, we need to get into this a little deeper.
Yeah, because we're both independent, so
exactly,
it's slightly different.
But now, like I said, I ain't saying I'm pro-union. I am pro-union in principle, but I ain't saying the unions are angels. But what I am saying is who they're fighting against are way worse.
Yeah,
and what they're asking for ain't. Yeah,
they ain't been playing fair.
No, exactly. They ain't been playing fair. And if the people that make all the money have their way, everybody will be ghettoized. And I'm saying, nah. And when the writers and all that stuff, settle and get whatever it is that they will accept, don't forget about us that stood by you. Okay, be there when we need you too, because America has a horrible history of getting help from people. And then when those people are in need, they're like, oh, I can't do nothing for you, man, I'm busy.
We know. You know what I'm saying? We know. We get out there, we march, we get loud for everybody. Everybody get their piece, go home, then we'll be like, hold up, what we get? Oh, whoa, where are our friends at? Where, I thought we was cool.
All right. So yeah. So I'm saying to SAG AFTRA and the WGA, don't be like those others. All right.
Mm.
But you know, and if y'all want to argue with me on that, you can find me Monday through Friday at twitch.tv/BID_P.
Yeah.
3 p.m. On the dark side of the room, where we talk about games and life and all that jazz. And you can also find me on YouTube under BidP Blurred. Just type in BidP Blurred and it'll come up as Solar Greye. And of course, feel free to send me an email, y'all, at backinthedeck@gmail.com. That's BACKINTHEDECK @gmail.com. You can also find me on the two most popular social medias, Twitter and Instagram at Back in the Deck, and on TikTok at BidP, BIDPY.
All right, that's what's up. Of course, NERDSoul, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, podcast, all that jazz. Until next time, when we'll be talking about Star Trek. We got some new anime this week. We got a whole bunch of cool stuff coming. And we got some cool stuff from good old Invincible. So from us to you, going and keep on fighting the good fight. And until the next strike or the next win from a strike, this is us from you to say peace.
Later, guys.